Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are back here with some more episode predictions for this week's up-and-coming episode of Fear the Walking Dead. This was Season 2, Episode 11, entitled Pablo and Jessica. Alright, now, right off the bat, you guys can feel the need to point it out in the comment section, if you will. Excuse the red nose. I'm thinking about just doing the rest of the episode like this. It's really bad today for some reason, guys. I don't know. It's acne life. That's essentially what it is, and I don't understand why I still get it. You know what I mean? I take care of myself, and I'm going on 21 years old, so I don't know. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. But nonetheless, episode predictions is what we're here to talk about, so excuse the red nose. I'm not going to keep it like this the whole time, although it probably would be better for your eyes, because I look like Rudolph, let's be honest. Anyway, Pablo and Jessica, Season 2, Episode 11. Let's go ahead and get into this. As always, you guys can follow along on AMC.com. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description if you guys want to, but the synopsis for this episode is as follows. Alicia and Madison work to unite two competing factions. Nick draws upon skills from his past to take on a new role at his community. It says like Colonia. I don't exactly know how to pronounce that, so I'm just going to go with community. I like to keep it community, keep it simple. I don't want to look like a dummy who doesn't know how to pronounce words, but unfortunately, that's ultimately what I am. Anyway, as always, this is predictions for the upcoming episode of Fear the Walking Dead, hence why it's called predictions, but I also do reviews as well, guys, so you guys can go check out my review for last week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead, which was actually Season 2, Episode 10, entitled Do Not Disturb. You guys can go check that out. It's back on my channel. I will also leave a link in the description below. But if you guys haven't caught up to this episode, why are you watching a predictions video? You know what I mean? Just don't complain to me in the comments section, all right? You sort of understand what predictions are, I hope. And you should be watching this if you're not caught up. Simple as that, right? I've had people get angry at me before, all right? So I'm just making it clear. Don't get angry at me. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. So it says, Alicia and Madison work to unite two competing factions. Alright, so we know that at the end of last episode, Alicia and Madison found each other. Alicia made her way to like a janitor's closet or a bathroom in the back while getting chased by walkers or infected, whatever you want to call them. And they met up together. They obviously got back together. So they are one big group again. All's well. They have the family back together. Except for Ophelia. We still don't know where the heck she went. Anyway, with this first sentence here in the synopsis, what I like to really think about here is what does it mean when they say they work to unite two competing factions? Now, work to unite, that's obviously meaning they're working to unite. I mean, they want to make the group one, or they want to stop the fighting so that they can get out of there alive, keep their lives without getting eaten by the infected. You know, that's obviously what work to unite would mean. And two competing factions, that's pretty basic as well. It's obviously two people who don't really like each other. Now, the real question is who are these two competing factions? My personal guess, my prediction for this sentence right here would be that they're trying to unite Elena and Hector's group, which is, I guess, just Elena and Hector at this point. Obviously, the hotel manager, Elena, and the other group that actually has been competing with Elena, who are basically trying to hurt her in every way possible because she locked them up in that wedding reception banquet hall at the beginning of last episode, like in a flashback, right? In my personal opinion, that's who I think that they could be talking about when it says two competing factions. That's just my personal opinion. I could totally be wrong. It could be somebody else. Who knows? But I think that they will be trying to unite Elena and Hector, you know, to stop them from fighting the people in the banquet hall. And from the banquet hall people, the guests, I guess, the wedding guests, to stop fighting Elena and Hector and stop trying to kill them. Because let's be honest, there is a lot of infected there, guys. There is a crap ton of infected. And they need as many people as possible to kill those infected and actually get out of there alive. Alright, the next sentence here in the synopsis, we have Nick draws upon his skills from the past to take on a new role at the Colonia, or community. Now, what I think this means is actually leading into the sneak peek for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead, which again, I will leave in the description below for you guys to go check out. Sneak peeks on AMC.com. I should be able to find a link here on YouTube as well, so again, link will be in the description. Now, I'm just going to lead this sentence into the sneak peek here, because I think it's basically meaning the same thing. It says, Nick draws upon his skills from his past to take on a new role at the Colonia. Alright, so in the sneak peek, we actually get to see Nick sort of working as, I would like to say a pharmacist, but much shadier. He actually goes ahead and is talking to, oh crap, I don't remember the guy's name. The leader of the community, right? The doctor. I cannot remember his name to save my life at this point, but I think this is what he's doing. He's essentially trying to either provide drugs, for his community that would work as an alternative to the drugs that they're maybe running out of, or he's trying to provide drugs to the people or the gang at that food mart that we saw who needs oxy, for his sister. She was an addict or something, and she needs drugs to keep her going, right? And that's what I think is going on here. Like I said, either alternative drugs for people in his community, and the much better option here, which is what I think is going on, he's making drugs that are basically a substitution or an alternative to what the people at that food mart need, to keep them supplies with food and water ultimately, and to keep that sort of trade deal going on. Now, the leader of Nick's community right now is very reluctant to let Nick work, but ultimately he does let him work. He takes his word for it and trusts him for a minute. And Nick ends up looking like quite a professional, all right? Nick says to him, "You're a pharmacist, I'm a junkie. Let me do my thing. Let me make this right." And he ultimately trusts Nick with that. And then we get to see sort of a montage package of Nick just doing his thing with drugs. I mean, like smashing up, some stuff into powder. Again, I'm not really a drug expert, so I don't exactly know what he's doing. But he's cutting it up, smashing it up. The guy hands him his tools, and then he ultimately makes these pills out of the powder that he's basically combining from a bunch of different other drugs. And he's putting them into one, and then he puts it inside of like a metal tube, and then ultimately pounds it out with a die. And at the end of it, he gets a pill out of it, right? So Nick is a junkie. He knows how to make pills, and he knows how to get a high, for somebody who's obviously going through withdrawal, which is clearly what that guy's sister at the food mart is going through, and that's what he needs to provide her, is more drugs so that she ultimately doesn't kill herself. So that is what's going on right there in the sneak peek. I thought it was a very interesting scene. Again, the link will be in the description below for you guys to check it out for yourself. I thought it was great. I really did. Nick's past skills that are pretty dark. Obviously, these skills that he has in the past world wasn't really looked upon as something good, right? But his skills in this new world, the community that he's in, is ultimately praising him for it. He's buying them more time. He's getting them more food and water in exchange for providing an alternative to those drugs that they need to sell to those people or the gang at the food mart. So his skills are coming in handy. All right, to get into the final thing that we have to talk about here today is the promo for this week's up-and-coming episode of Fear the Walking Dead, which, again, you guys will be able to check out in the description below. This promo is all scrambled around, guys. First of all, we have what looks to be maybe a flashback scene to what happened to Madison and Strand between when Alicia was trapped in that elevator shaft and when they were obviously trapped in that bar, and then they eventually made it to that back room, bathroom, or janitor's closet, whatever it is. It looks like we might be getting a flashback scene because we see scenes of them behind the bar, unless they just maybe come out from that bathroom and then, try fighting to the front of the hotel. We have no idea. They literally could just be going back to the bar and fighting again. We don't know, or else it could be a flashback scene. In my personal opinion, I think it's going to be a flashback scene just because I think it would be interesting to see what happened to them, because last thing we know, they were trapped behind the bar with infected surrounding them, and then the next time we see them, they're safe inside of a closet in the back room of the hotel. So in my personal opinion, I think it would be cool to see what would happen to them and how they actually got out of there alive. In the promo as well, we get to see Nick, again, talking to Alejandro. The name just came to me, the group leader or the community leader. And Alejandro basically says, "I was bitten by the dead and I was waiting for death to come, and it didn't." So we get to see maybe a little altercation there, maybe a little bit of an explanation to what happened there with his bite on his shoulder, because that's the last thing we saw of Alejandro, him having a bite on his shoulder, and we never really got any questions answered, so maybe now Nick will get some of those answered, hopefully. Now again, we get to see other scenes in the hotel of basically Madison's group essentially trying to fight off some zombies. It looks like Strand's actually covered with walker blood at one point, so that's definitely a cool technique. He's obviously picked up on that from Nick, maybe trying to move amongst them. It looks like Alicia and Madison might have got separated again. I have no idea, again, whether or not this is a flashback or whether or not it's just current time. I have no idea. And we get to see Nick in the courtyard of his community looking like he's having fun with the children again, maybe playing soccer. And we get to see Alicia fighting off some infected in the hotel as well, like stabbing walkers in the head, infected in the head, whatever you guys want to call them. Again, it's different between The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, so infected, walkers, I'm not going to probably keep changing it. We should just pick one and stick to it, so let me know in the comment section below what you guys want me to call them, walkers or infected, and I'll try to stick to it as much as I can. I'm thinking walkers, but yeah, I don't know. And in the promo as well, we get to see Nick doing his thing with the drugs. We get to see him separating in lines. We also get to see Madison jumping off what looks like a pier or some sort of a bridge in the episode as well. Probably into water, most likely water. I mean, I hope it's water, or else she's probably going to die. But she's jumping off a pier or some sort of a bridge, and that's what we get to see there. We don't get to really see where she lands, so I'm not sure about that. And then other than that, we get to see, again, what looks like a flashback. Looks like they're running down a back hallway, maybe to that room at the end of the promo here. So again, link will be in the description below if you guys want to go check it out for yourself. And that is going to be it for today's prediction video for Fear the Walking Dead, guys. This was Season 2, Episode 11, coming this Sunday on AMC, entitled, again, oddly, Pablo and Jessica. I don't really know what's up to the title, but maybe we'll get some explanations in the episode. Hopefully you guys will be tuning in, because I sure as heck will be. I'm pretty excited for the episode. It looks pretty intense. They're going to be able to finally fight their way out of that hotel. We get to see lots of action with Madison, Strand, and especially Alicia. She looked pretty badass in that promo. And that is it for now, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you guys did enjoy it, feel free to smash that like button. It really does help out the channel a lot. Also, just to remind you guys, I am primarily a gaming channel, so if you guys do like gaming or any type of videos like that, make sure you guys go check out my other content. I put tons of hard work into it, and I definitely would appreciate you guys going to check it out. With that being said, if you guys don't like gaming content, then make sure you guys tune back in on Monday for my episode review of this episode of Fear the Walking Dead, which is, again, Season 2, Episode 11, Pablo and Jessica. I'll see you guys then. Take care, everybody. Bye. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. Freaking Rudolph. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the beginning of a barrage of tip videos coming today on the new Black Ops 3 Zombies map entitled Revelations. I've been playing it all day yesterday, all day today, well, as much as I could at least yesterday, when they actually allowed me to download the map.